So, like this? No, it's like this. Here, don't have to grab me that hard. Jeez. And then focus on the point on your palm. And yeah, thank you. Shut up. I know we haven't really been on the best footing ever since we got here, but still love you as a brother. But as a rival, you're top tier. Oh, trust me, I know. Hey, since you taught me, well, since I taught you how to do the that thing, I don't know the name for it yet. Would you wouldn't mind helping me with I'm not trying to steal your entire jet fang, but the full contact. How do you do that? Uh, feet sweat. Not to be weird, but that's legit the entire thing. Like my shoes are specially made now by the girl who did my suit, um, Mei Hatsume. That's her name. I like in the things and details, blah blah blah. But yeah, it does hurt when you first do it because you don't expect it to happen. But once you get used to it, it kind of becomes like the palm explosions and it become like numb. Okay, okay. So I'm confused about what. How did you come up with it? Um, I think I was reading an old comic Dad used to have. It was like some superhero old like ancient comic. I forget the title. And he said something. Oh, did you know there were movies of those? And he had old like movie disc, and so we watched them. And there was a character in it, called Iron Man. That's it. And he had propulsors on his like feet to help him fly, and on his hands. And I thought I could probably do that with my quirk. Like after I, we, well, I watched it before our quirks awakened. Well, my quirk awakened because he did get yours first. Um, right? And yeah, I got the idea from that. Okay. Well, I mean, we can practice the full contact thing. Like now, sure, I would recommend taking off your shoes so you don't explode them. I made that mistake way too many times. Oh, trust me, I know. Hello, it is me, we, and I'm here to bring you part 7 of What If Deku Had an Explosion Quirk. Whew. Yes, we're getting to the ultimate moves, dogs. Now, given Izuku has already made names for a lot of his moves, but for his stronger moves, those are yet to come. But today we're going over the provisional license exam, and then next part, We will be going over the overhaul arc and the sports like UA Festival. So yeah, we're gonna do those in one episode next week. Okay. Today we're going over the provisional license exams. Right. Okay. Whew. Let me get a drink of water, and then we can get into this. But first, I have a poll going up on my channel for a new what if I want to start. It's Itadori, like Jujutsu Kaisen based. Um, with season 3 coming out, I have decided to do one of those um once in a while, an episode once in a while. Continue my every other Saturday series. Yeah, we're gonna do those, but with JJK for a little bit before I do. Well, we might even switch up and bring JJK into the main line of what ifs. Um, After Tanjiro gets, I really want to test how Tanjiro's views are. And if it doesn't get a lot of views after this series, like I'm gonna go through the series, I'm gonna go through, look at the views, and I'm gonna check. Like after my second series of Tanjiro, um, I'm gonna go through, look at both series, and check on how good the views are, and that will tell me either I should continue on with Tanjiro or switch it out for Itadori. I do plan, well, I still want to bring the every other Saturday series back to a thing. I don't know. It might be every other Saturday. At least that's when they'll be posted. But it's not going to be posted anytime soon. I want the poll to go on for, well, since I posted it on Monday-ish or Sunday, Monday, um, I'm gonna go let it go for a week or two so you all can have your time on the votes on the poll. I do recommend you go look at it. I recommend you go vote. I hope you do. And we'll see what happens. I hope you all will enjoy that what if, and I hope you all enjoy these ones that are going on currently. Anyways, let me get a drink of water, and I think you should too, and then we can get into this. God, my feet hurt. Told you it was gonna happen. Didn't tell me my calves were gonna hurt either. Thought it was just gonna be my feet. Oh no. It's like how our shoulders and forearms hurt because after using our quirk for too much, our quirks too much. Yeah, I know how my quirk works. Okay. I was just making sure. Anyways, you figure out a name for that move of yours? Which one? The orb thing. Since we are heading to the provisional license exams in a minute. Yeah, I got a name. Really? Yeah. AP shot. What does AP stand for? Armor piercing. Oh, okay. That's actually very good. How about you? I haven't really thought of it much. I do have ideas though. Uh, I was thinking shield piercer, but then now hearing yours, that sounds too close. Um, then I thought propulsor blast, and thought no, that's gross. And I came up with Buster Shot, which I think is good. Buster Shot. Yeah. I think it's good. Okay, whatever floats your boat. What is that supposed to mean? You know what it means. I truly do not, like, at all. What is that supposed to mean? Huh. What do you think you're gonna go for this up and coming like after provisional license? I heard something from Mr. Aizawa that after our provisional license exams, the ones who pass are allowed to go into like work studies, like internships again. Do you think you're gonna go with Best Jeanist again? I don't know. Maybe. How about you? I don't know. I do want to go back to black belt at some point, but if I get the opportunity to go somewhere else, I might do it. And either way, I've already made a devotion to black belt to go back and be a sidekick after I graduate. So, really? Yeah, he was a big help. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. Uh-huh. Is that why you've been watching his fights that was caught on the news so much? Maybe. What of it to you? Nothing, nothing. Anyways, have you made a winter like version since winter is coming up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You? Yeah. Well, time to go. Yeah. And then time skip. They would all be in their hero costumes. I'll remind you on um what Izuku's looks like. A dark red sleeveless shirt with two slits at the sides of each side, like has two, with a hood that has two red dots on the top with white detached sleeves, with two arm braces under where his gunner bracers go. And I'll explain those if you forget here in a minute. Then a pair of black baggy pants with a red strap that goes on down the right side. On the right side, that wraps around into a like a I don't know what it would it be. Then he has tall black boots with four dots on the back, where they would like cover the zip up on the back. He would cover it. Then on his face, he would have his boom visor that is wrapping around his head, and there is a red dot on the right side. And then here into support gear, the boom visor, which has been uh, being able to see in a thermal and night vision uh, like sight. His gunner bracers, which is a pair of mounted storage tanks that store his nitroglycerin like sweat. These storage tanks have 8 different barrels, 4 on each. That has a trigger at the bottom where his thumb is, so that he can fire with his thumb. And then the barrels shoot small explosions. Well, that has a like a rubber ball covered in a sweat that would shoot out, and then he can detonate it when he would like to. Then his nitromores, which are small squares that he can like claymores. You set them down, and then like trap door type traps. Then nitronades are like grenades. Um, yeah. They would arrive, and well, it would be time to actually hear the explain. They would be explained on how the exam is going to work, how will it work, right? He would be explaining, not just him. Every student that would be taking part of this would be explained on how this would work, and then the room, well, room with quotation marks, that they would be in would collapse. Like a box opening, they would be in a big Coliseum like esque thing, where their first part of the um exam will happen. Everyone will be staring at Class 1A. Izuku then would say, well, get into groups and then head separate ways. I already know that Todoroki's gonna go alone because he already left. Thanks a lot, Katsuki. Yeah, let's make an opening. You got me excited. And then once we make the opening, you all go. Right. They would all say, right. Ready, Katsuki? Yeah. We're gonna have to rapid fire. Yeah, yeah. Full contact. Jet thing. His sides would start to light up and crack, and then his feet would do the same as with his palms, and then exploding upward. Same height. His brother would do the same, and then they at the same time they would say their own respective moves. I believe Katsuki Bakugo's is AP shot machine gun. I think it's like that. I think. But for Izuku, it's Buster Shot, Spray. It would be like two turrets just firing off into a crowd. These people would either be hit or they would dodge. As then the other students in Class 1A would scatter in their groups, as then the two brothers would get back on the ground and be surrounded by multiple people. This is going to be rough, Izuku. I know, but it will be fun working together again. You know it. I'll make a distraction and then you go to work. Eliminate people. How about we both make a distraction and we both eliminate people? Fine. Colliding rumble! Izuku would bring his arms outward and then clap as a plume of a plume of an explosion would an explosion would plume out, creating a smoke screen esque deal. And then Katsuki would say, landmine blast, I think. I think it's landmine blast, where he would stick his hands on the ground and then Izuku would then take the two balls, well, one of the two, and then boom, 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 exploding them out straight forward, and then oh, I'm out. What the crap? Already? Let's get moving. Yeah, yeah, I know what to do. Back into the air they would go. The people would start to throw their balls that would try to take them out, but Izuku would already just scatter them away, just explode them away. High in the air, he would then catch one, two, and then one in his mouth. Ow! He would say, as he would get it out, he would say, "Ow! Why are you going for my face?" Wait, they're gone. They're invisible. Oh, so you got a quirk like that? Okay. Well, on his through his visor, it would light up a bright red color. It would be his thermal vision setting. Gotcha. Boom, boom, boom. Throwing these, hitting the invisible guy who threw three of the well, the three balls at him and that he caught, he would be eliminated. Well, this is fun. And then he would turn it off. He would dive down and just with one ball that he would just randomly catch out of midair from being thrown at him, he would get down on the ground and then boop, 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 piece a guy up, slime him out, just getting the like uh the things that they had to stick to him, just boom, 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 just instantly. Moving out of the way, exploding out of the way, back on the ground. Boom, boom. Another colliding rumble would happen. The explosion would plume out, knocking some people down on the ground onto their back, and other people would just like put their hand up. Um, one second year student would say, "How are these first years so strong? Is this even possible?" I know that they survived and took down villain attack after villain attack, but geez, what are they feeding those kids at UA? Wait, they're supposed to be feeding us something that would make us stronger or dumber? Because by my standards, I think whatever your place is feeding you is kind of dumb, making you dumber. What? And then boom, boom, two explosions would hit this guy in the torso, lighting up two of the three like light up things, and then the third one would be lit up just after that. These two kids are monsters. Ah, title job. The crowd of other potential examinees would dwindle like over time. Eventually, Izuku and Bakugo would pass the first exam. That was that. Told you it's good to be like me sometimes. I guess. Kind of feel bad for them, but they did come to the same place. Did you hear that guy calling us monsters? It's good for people to know that they're not the best. Yeah, and you're the one saying that is real hypocritical. How so? Dude, really? I know what you mean. Didn't have to say it though. I know I'm cocky, but I have the right to. Sure. Time skip. It would be a couple hours into the second event, second exam, the final exam, where they would have to grab fake civilians and get them, like, get them out there. And it wouldn't be too. Maybe it would. Yeah, it would. Probably would. They would already set up the place um, to. They would already set up the medic station where there would be heroes there protecting them and heal, giving them like first aid. Izuku would be halfway back, actually a little bit over. He could see it, but then out of the corner of his eye, with two civilians in his arms, um, like a young couple, it would be. He would be in the air, going slowly. He already told them, "Hey, it's going to be a little bit of a first rough ride, but I think you all will be fine." And they didn't have they had minor injuries, like a cut and like a couple bruises each. Like a couple cuts, couple bruises, so they would be fine. Out of the corner of his eye, he would see the wall crash down, and he would say, "Shit, hold on." The man would say, "Wait, what?" And then women would, "Wait, no, 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 no." Flip that around. And the woman would say, "Wait, what?" And then the man would begin to just screech as they would pick up in speed. "Hold on tight. We're about to land." Sliding, not losing. Like he would crash down and then slide on his feet, handing him off to these two to Kendo in 1B. Wait, was she there? Maybe. Was she? Or was it just 1A? I swear I remember Kendo being there. Maybe she was. I don't remember. I'm gonna say she was. 1B was there. Handing these two off to her, she would get them into the medic bay. Izuku would. Another student that he came to be friends with was Shindo. Yeah, you know that guy who was like stun locked right now, and Gang Orca was coming at him. But then Izuku's sides would light up, start to crackle. His palms and soles of his feet would crack, would start to glow with intensity, and then he'd go. Gang Orca noticing this, putting his arms up in a cross. Izuku's hand would reach it, be inches away, and then a massive explosion would light up Gang Orca's entire body. He would be skidding back as Izuku would land on his feet. The dust and smoke would settle. Gang Orca would be standing there, arms to the side, as then he would say, "Well, I see we have a ready hero with some power behind his strikes. Your friend there has done nothing. He's weak. Now, come at me, hero." Man, you're Gang Orca, right? Then he'd reach into his pockets, well, one of his pockets, and he'll pull out a small case. Open it up. There we go. And then setting the case back into a safe pocket. And then earplugs would go in his ears. He has studied, dog. Now he knows a lot of sound-based heroes, right? And he knows that there are a lot. Well, not a lot, but he knows that there are sound-based heroes. So he's guessing there's probably villains with very similar quirks. So he came up with this. Earplugs. I know how you work. You're an orca. You do like sonar things. Not dumb. Also learned from my last internship something about you. You like to go hand to hand. He would get into a stance very similar to his internship. Black belt, the karate hero or the fast fist hero. I don't remember his title. You know what? No. Have you all ever seen Black Belt? Um, MHA Black Belt. He's a off character in a like martial hero. Okay, he would say the martial hero Black Belt, right? That's his name. Black Belt is a like a side character in a he's a hero in a I forget. Uh it was a off like thing that um it was during the team up missions program. I don't know if that was like animated or not, but yeah, here he is. He's here. I really like him. Look at the guy. I wish he got animated. And we could honestly probably might we might see him in Vigilantes as I think about it. He might be off in the background because 10 years ago was when he started doing hero work in his synopsis, right? So maybe I hope so. I hope so. I hope so because I love him. Rose like Shakespeare. The way he talks, he's quite entertaining. I like him a lot. Oh, the martial hero. Okay, I reckon. As you said that, I then remembered that stance of yours. Blasting forward, not black belt. Gang Orca arm would be reeled back, ready to deliver a punch as Izuku then would say, "Yeah, good thing you did that." As he would inch closer and closer, Izuku would make a hidden, he would cup his hands together. He would create a spear of light within his hands, and then as Gang Orca got closer, his fist getting even closer and closer, Izuku would let it off. Like a flashbang at the middle of the night. He would blind Gang Orca for because he did get his eyes shut, but that flash of light would still mess with your eyes from this close away. And Izuku did get hit, but he blocked it enough with his left gunner gauntlet. The gunner gauntlet did break though, but that would be fine. As then he got flown back, rolled over his back. He just took off the rest of his the like some of it did stay kind of cracked, but Izuku would just take it off, and then he would grab a nitro nade and shove it in there, a couple, like two or three, and then he'd pull the pin and then throw it at Gang Orca, and he would say with his as he would be seated on the ground, cross-legged, with his left arm, like he would rest his head on his like right arm, as then he would say, "Omni discharge," and then it would explode in his face, a massive explosion, like huge. Well, let's start firing. Rising up his right arm, he would start pulling the trigger on his gunner gauntlet, and it would start firing into the smoke. He could hear the steps. Well, no, he wouldn't be able to. He would take off the earplugs and just throw it behind him. His hair would be covering his ears anyways. So Gang Orca doesn't know that he took them off. But now being hear the steps, the loud steps of the man orca, he would fire ahead of it, as then would be heard. And then Izuku would go up in the air as Gang would fire off the sonar beam. Crap, Izuku would say. And then he would cover his ears in like intentionally, and then he would land on the ground, but Gang would come running at him. Being able to see this in a squint because his ears are ringing. Izuku then would wait as he would get closer, about to strike, before he turned around, left leg raised up as his sole of his foot would be pointing into a kick, like ready to be kicked, like ready to let a kick fly. And he would say, "Gotcha." His ears would still hurt like crap, but having his leg up and then boom, a massive explosion would fire off from his feet. Well, foot. Gun ears ringing. Buster shot. Sorry about my chair. I have a feeling you could hear that. And then just running through the explosion, Gang Orca would just send Izuku flying into the wall, crashing through it. He would lay there, still conscious, but he would be bleeding. Shindo would still be crouched there, not able to do anything since using his quirk make him unable to move after using too big of a like Fisher, like a Quake. Then Todoroki and Inasa, Wind guy, Inasa, the Shiketsu Wind guy, would take over, start fighting uh Genorga. Izuku's visor would be half broken. He would just take that off and just tie it to the red strap to his on his right leg as he would lay there breathing. Oh God. He would hear his back crack as he would try to stand up, as then he would hold the back of his head, and then he would say, I thought that he would take like an easier punch. Maybe he might hold a grudge against Black Belt. I just realized. I also just realized he might hold a grudge against Shinsudo. Um, those two are friends, I think. Shinsudo and Black Belt. I don't know. He was there. They were talking one day. Oh, God. Oh, Rip. I know he can punch quick as hell, even as big of a guy as he is. I guess he broke my visor on my eye. You think I could still see? Lord. Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course. Then the number 10 hero into this shit. Oh, be the proctor. Yeah, that was a good idea. Why can't it be someone else? Oh, God. Yeah, right. I can see you have grown, Izuku. What? Black belt? Oh God, you're another one of them. I am. I was just told to come in earlier, or later, that is. And I came in now. I chose to. What about this? I can tell you're another, what Gang Orca is, the fake villain or whatever. Yes, I am. I'm here to test you too, though. Like we did. Yusuke then would take off his other gunner bracer, take out two nitro nades and nitro mores, shove them into him. He would hold it. He would look at Black Belt. Then he would throw it out of the hole that he came through. As then he would hold up. Well, he would then grab the boom visor, press a button, like a not the red button that would turn on the or the black red one ish color would turn on the visions. He would turn on one inside of it, like that would be near the ear, and he would say, "It's out there." I know, I got it. No, 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 it wouldn't be him. I got it. Good. Are you gonna be okay though? Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna lay in here for a little while, and then I'll be out. I'm gonna do a surprise attack. Okay. Be safe. Make sure your wounds aren't that bad, because if they're bad, Bakugo, then it's gonna be a bad thing. Yeah, yeah, Kendo. I know. Not to be rude, but I know. Okay, I'll tell you when to detonate. You just have to pull the pin. Wait, which one? One of the ones inside. Okay. Well, come on. There would be a little bit of like like a cut or two around his left eye because of where the boom visor broke. The material it's made of would kind of just scrape it, and it would cause bleeding, but not a lot of blood would come out of the wound. And then hands would be thrown. No quirk would be used, just hands. And clearly, Black Belt would begin to win. He would win. He would in the beginning, he would let Izuku have a couple strikes uh, where Black Belt would be on the defensive, but then he would go on the offensive. I mean, defense. He would be on the defense, and then he would go on the offense. Izuku would be laying on the ground as Black Belt would say, "Well, you've certainly gotten better. Just stay there. I'd prefer not to hurt my student anymore. I'm gonna go deal with your friends. Anyways, I'll talk to you later." Hopping through, and then he would join in the fight. Izuku would say, "Yeah, right. I'm not staying down. Okay, maybe I should." Oh, oh God. Right. There's another hole in there. Sneak through that one. Yes, girl, let's do it. Oh, his back would crack even more. Because the reason why he was on the ground is not because he got punched hard in the face, because he got like choke slammed by Black Belt. Just whoop, boosh. Ugh. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, he hasn't seen Buster's shot, so he can't dodge it. He won't know what's coming to him. Walking down, just bracing himself against the wall, getting through the other side. He would then say, "Hey, I'm back." Gengar could then would turn slightly to him, as then he would still be facing uh Todoroki and Inasa with Black Belt. Black Belt would turn over and say, "So the hero I beat down earlier has gotten up. I should have taken you out when I had the chance, but I had mercy. So now I'll go all out. Yeah, yeah. I'll take you both out in one attack." He would raise up both arms, and as then he would say, "Hey, Todoroki, other guy, get ready to move. Buster shot. Dead shots. Bigger ex or like Buster shots would be fired out. It would be a it would be bigger explosions compared to like spray. It would be more like I said, like it would still be a scatter shot, but bigger. He would be missing most of them because they would be dodging or just blocking them. But blocking them like and taking the blow would still hurt. It would still explode in their face. then Inasa and Todoroki would attack, and then timer would run out. Todoroki Izuku would say, "There you go," and then falling unconscious, half unconscious, as Black Belt would run up and say, "You did well, my student." Oh yes. Then he would pick him up in a big hug, noticing that he's unconscious. Now has definitely fallen into unconscious. He would hold him up like like a like you know how you hold up a like a puppy, like, yes, look at my student. Yeah, I can see that. He packs a punch. You can certainly take one too. I did. Mm, I did hit him harder than I was probably supposed to. Ah, he's fine. Why did I make him go Scottish? Bro, it's not Shrek. Oh, it's fine. He can take it. He's just, I don't know what he is. He's certainly something, tell you that much. That kid's a monster, I can tell you that. That's where I'm going to end it here for today, folks. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all come back next week. And before you all go, please go vote on my poll on my channel. It's in the post tab. Please go vote. Help me out. Subscribe, like if you haven't already. Comment down your what if ideas. Um, Share it if you'd like to your friends. And hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day whenever you're watching this. And yeah, roll the dice. Bye.